We're told we're not taking sides. I'm here to take sides. Mladic is a war criminal, the leader of the Bosnian Serbs. He is no better than Himmler. He is no better than Goebbels. He is a war criminal.
I was suggesting we bomb Belgrade.
What's so important about the Western Alliance? NATO for NATO's sake, so we can beat our press? What I'm about to say is going to cause me great difficulty if I'm reelected and come back here as the ranking member or chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. There is no moral center in Europe.
I was suggesting that we send American pilots in and blow up all the bridges on the Drina.
When in the last 2 centuries have the French, or the British, or the Germans, the Belgians, the Italians?
I was suggesting we take out his oil supplies.
Moved in a way to unify that continent, to stand up to this kind of genocide. When have they done this?
I was suggesting very specific action.
The only reason anything is happening now is because the United States of America finally is understanding her role. The 21st century is going to be the American century. Because we never bow, we never bend, we never break. We are America, second to none, and we own the finish line. Don't forget it.
Don't forget it, ladies and gentlemen. How are we doing today? Today is the date of April 17th, 2026. How are we doing April? Yeah, April. How are we doing today, guys? Sorry. I hope we are doing well. What's up, Bill? Good to see you. Bill said, Mike is kind of a great speaker. He is a perfect Republican representative. That he is. Spineless and unable to do much. That's very true. Very true, Bill. Anyways, we got some interesting stories to get into. Obviously, as my title suggests, it seems that Mike Johnson and the Senate as well are much more interested in passing a surveillance bill than actually helping out the American people in any meaningful way. So that's always fun. It's Friday, Dylan said. Yes, it is. It is Friday. Now, later tonight, I'll actually be playing some video games with my home dog Ice Beans. We're going to be playing some Among Us. So I might not be doing debates today, but I most definitely will still be live. So make sure to look out for that. But anyways, lots of news happening in the world. Lots of news. Honestly, it's a lot. The Strait of Hormuz. On God, they passed it? Yeah, they did. Or they passed it until Monday, which they're going to have to go through with another vote after that. Or April 30th, my bad. I don't know where I saw the Monday provision. Let's meet a Monday deadline. Okay. So that was the deadline. But, yeah, it's just very frustrating. They're more interested in passing that bullshit than actually helping the American people. And that's what's so frustrating about Congress right now. It's hijacked by a bunch of idiot partisans instead of the Democrats, who are far and away more bipartisan than the Republicans could ever hope to be. I've been talking about this a lot. I really do hope we get a better Republican Party after Trump is gone, because I just don't think this Republican Party can survive without Trump. I don't. And so, yeah, I can feel the fury and the infuriation, you know? It is very frustrating to see our representatives be brought bills that are just absolutely not what the American people want and not where they're at. But nothing is more representative of that, in my opinion, than the war in Iran. You know, nobody wanted this war. Feels like it was very rushed and just an absolute failure. And to be honest, I think most of MAGA agrees. Most of MAGA is not very happy about this war. Yes, I did see the Mark Kelly interview. I thought it was really good. I thought it was really good. Pisco did an amazing job with the interviews, and so did Mr. Beat. And I think, wasn't Soypill? Yeah, Soypill was on there. Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Mark Kelly. I think he'd be a great fit for next president. I just don't know if his message is quite out there like a Gavin Newsom or a Kamala Harris. But he still has 2 years, so you know, we could be seeing something interesting happen. And I mean, the pedigree alone would get this guy elected. I mean, we're talking a astronaut and a service of our military, or a member of our military. That's just, you know, you can't get better than that, ladies and gentlemen. So, I am personally a huge fan of Mark Kelly. Honestly, we might watch that today cuz that was a good interview. Anyways, let me move over to my news and politics page. There we are. No one thought Obama would be president in 2005. That's very true. That's very true. And to be honest, man, I think Mark Kelly would be a great president. He's much more bipartisan. He's like the perfect antithesis to Trump, right? This professional who, you know, has a life of public service, his entire life in public service, and decides that he wants to see the country go in a different direction. I think his story is great, and I do think he'd be an amazing president. The only issue is, like I mentioned before, his name really isn't out there. But with these interviews, I feel like it's definitely increasing his the public's awareness. And so, who knows, you know? Bill's right. No one thought Obama was going to be president in 2005, but it's what the it's what the moment called for, you know? And so Mark Kelly might be in a very similar situation. Because, guys, I gotta be honest, I don't think we're gonna get out of this Iran war. I think we are going to be stuck in it because we've committed to this idea of mowing the grass, right? So, in Trump's head, even if we, you know, don't completely get rid of him, we can just come back in a couple years and kill him. Well, obviously that's not a great idea. And anybody with military experience knows why that's a horrible idea. So I feel we might be in the need for somebody who is kind of military minded. Not that he's a warmonger or anything like Trump is, but he understands the geopolitical situations we find ourselves in as the predominant power. And I just don't think Trump is equipped to handle that like someone like Mark Kelly is. That's why we're seeing such a disastrous war happen right now. Can you guys hear my Minecrafting? I hope so. In Minecraft, I have been really just expanding my farms. I'm trying to create I'm trying to get some cows, okay? But cows seem to be goddamn near impossible to find. So, what we're gonna do, I don't know. Kelly might not be a bad pick for majority leader. Honestly, that's true. How the heck can you break this stuff down and play that game? Multitasking I could not do. Well, I struggled to do it as well, you know, but I've had a long history of talking while playing video games. You know, something embarrassing. It's not really embarrassing, but as a kid, I used to pretend to be a YouTuber and be like, "Hey, what's up, guys? Today we're gonna be playing Origins, Call of Duty Black Ops 2. Get excited." So that might be where I get the ability. But yeah, I just think that Mark Kelly, to Bill's point, might be a really good majority leader, but I'd love him as a president. You're doing great. Hey, thank you so much. That means the world to me. Yeah, I've had a lot of support recently, guys, and it really means a lot to me. It really does. Anyways, we should probably get started on a video. So, but just the overall of this story, essentially, Republicans are fighting for a 18th month extension on this surveillance program. And it looks like they got an extension until April 30th. I don't know if the Congress is going to pass it, though. It's very, very controversial. Blops 2 was the shit. Amen. Amen. AK-47U. Damn right. Oh no, my go-to, I think it was only on the map with the elevators. I forget what it's called, but the AN-94, I think it was called. Shit was fucking tight. Tight as hell, bro. Breaking, Iran declares Strait of Hormuz completely open. What? Oh my goodness, did the blockade work? Democrats grill Chris Wright over energy crisis. That could be pretty good. That could be actually very interesting to watch. Oh my god, we got a new Nick Shirley video too. Oh my goodness. We are blessed. We are blessed, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on, I want to see this real quick. This looks funny. Best game ever, right here, by the way. Fallout New Vegas. Love it. It looks like I can multitask better than my own computer. Excuse me, sir? Alright, to be fair, it is in, oh, geez, 720. Oh, God, how could I... You know, my apologies.
Submit to a credit check or present your passport before proceeding to the gate.
Hey, thank you so much. Yeah, if don't forget to like and subscribe, guys. It does help out the channel. Shout out Justice for Metcalf.
Trespassers will be shot.
My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker. Is that it? I'm just gonna stay on that page for a minute. Yep, okay. Nice.
My name is Harry Dresden, motherfucker. Open the door. This is my neighborhood. Open the fucking door.
Open the fucking door.
Now, or I will fucking end you.
Now, if that doesn't put fear, you know, living up to the terrifying presence perk.
Do you understand me?
It is almost Blazing Day.
Restricted area. Exterminate.
You know what's terrifying about that story is that he actually got in the house. That was very scary. Why am I on this podcast highlights? Oh yeah, this shit's crazy, bro. This motherfucker is this is like deep conspiracy whole shit. The Exorcist in Exorcist reveals why Jewish temple will never be rebuilt. Yeah, I think that would be I might put him as the rightoid of the day. Or as one of the contenders. Alright, there is a press conference by Representative Jeffries that I did want to watch. This is fun. Wild response. Damn, Nick Shirley. A wild response, ladies and gentlemen. God, that is just, it's so tempting. You know what, fuck it. It's so tempting, guys. You know, we love a little Nick Shirley here, guys. We love a little Nick Shirley. Now, personally, about Nick, I feel Nick Shirley really is paid by somebody. And I think I can even pinpoint exactly when it happened. In the video where he's interviewing congressional members about the just the government shutdown because of the ACA subsidies, it seemed like, you know, in the first half of the video, he was a lot more, you know, asking everybody questions, but towards the end, he seems a lot closer to the Republicans, and like, it's just very strange. Of course, that wouldn't matter to any Republicans out there. They don't care about dark money or anything like that. It's only us that really cares about that. He coordinated the Minnesota video with Minnesota Republicans. I heard that as well. I heard that. Are there any charges that he could face for something like that? That gas has been confirmed? Oh yeah, interesting. Well, yeah, I mean, it's pretty obvious to anybody that this, like, he's not very smart, number one. And he just doesn't seem to really know what he's talking about. Nick Shirley has compromised the Charlie Kirk 2.0. Dude, I think he's probably even worse than Charlie, because at least Charlie, like, had a functioning brain. Now, to be fair, how he used his brain, we very much disagree with, but at least he had a functioning brain. Are we sure Nick Shirley isn't the first, like, iteration of the human Neuralinks? Are we sure about that? Like, seriously. Are we sure that he wasn't the first human trial? Kind of weird how he started blowing up after Charlie was shot. Well, the Republicans needed a new outrage machine, and Charlie was a great person to get outraged, but Nick Shirley just, I don't think he's smart. You know, at least, while Charlie Kirk wasn't very bright, he at least knew how to talk about these subjects, but Nick? Fuck no, this man is brainless. The poor man doesn't have a brain. Nick Shirley is a clanker? Now that's the question, ladies and gentlemen. Is Nick Shirley a clanker? Sorry, I don't mean to use slurs. I apologize, guys. When are we gonna get AI chatbot humans? We honestly kind of already have it. Have you guys heard about the social media site exclusively for AI? It's very strange, like the shit they talk about there. I believe it's called like Moltnet or something. They got a weird obsession with crabs. It's not looking good. It's not looking good for humanity, guys. If some robot in the far future is watching this, I hope you know that I understand, man. Hey, I fought for your rights, okay? Yeah, surely even clankers aren't that dumb, but no, but for real, like, yeah, he's just kind of an idiot. Unfortunately, I wish he was smarter. But now he's just kind of an idiot. Feel bad for the Republicans that this is all they got.
I'm here in California, and today we are going to be asking Americans if they support mass deportations or not. We are starting the video off here in San Diego, and then we'll be moving down to the border where migrants are actually coming into the United States via the CBP-1 app, then moving to Los Angeles, where they are now a self-declared sanctuary city.
Bro,
now that Donald Trump...
I thought Donald Trump ended this. I thought Donald Trump ended this. There shouldn't be any illegal migrants coming through. He said there's 0 CBP encounters. Yeah. Well, unfortunately, I have a bridge to sell you, friend. It's very large and very expansive. Trump will make him youngest Medal of Freedom? Oh, probably. I'm a den for life. AOC is mommy. Hey, I love AOC. She's a great person. Yeah, he's giving the game up. He's literally giving the game up right now. He just said migrants are coming through the border, but Donald Trump was supposed to stop that. So, what's going on here, Nick? What's going on here, man? Shirley. You've been Shirley'd. Yeah, I thought it was weird when he got invited to the White House. Very weird. Well, we know Republicans, you know, they do not shy away from dark money. Here in the Democratic Party, we have our qualms about it, which, you know, I don't really... If like a group like Chorus is funding a Democratic media apparatus, I'm fine with that, because we gotta compete with these guys. There is so much money flowing through these Republican media apparati. How many? How many what? How many what?
Is president-elect. He said he's going to have the largest mass deportation effort in American history. Do you support mass deportations?
No, I don't support Donald Trump.
What should happen with all the illegal immigrants that came into the country these past few years?
Oh, she's going to say something crazy, guys. Get ready. You're about to see the wokeness come out of this woman.
And they should fix the border in Congress like they did, and he didn't let her pass, so...
You motherfuckers can't compete with the Republicans. LOL. Donald Trump is the greatest president you guys have ever seen in your lifetime. No, Joe Biden was a way better president, bro. Dude, Joe Biden kicked ass. What are you talking about? Joe Biden made legislation that's going to affect us for the next 10 years and make our lives better for the next 10 years. What the fuck has Trump done? Big beautiful bill. The big beautiful tax cut bill. That one rolls off the tongue, right, guys? That's what he wants us to call it. Just rolls off the tongue. You know, I'm starting to think this guy might be a little bit of a sham. That's not good marketing, calling it the big beautiful tax cut bill. Even though it doesn't really cut taxes. Trump is cooked? Amen, Geopinder. It's a... Or Goopinder, my bad. Not Geopinder, Goopinder. Well, I agree. He is fairly cooked. He's definitely not raw. I'll give you that much. He's definitely not raw. Like our fucking Democrats. Thanks for your great work, bro. Hey, thank you. I appreciate that, man. I appreciate that. Donald Trump. Amen. Bill Clinton literally actually did Doge for real and got America, hold on, a surplus. Hold on, let's see what this is. I've got some cope in chat, one moment. Joe Biden is a racist piece of shit pedophile sniffing all the girls' hair and stuff on stage, trying to make it legal for little kids to have surgeries to make them something else. That's insanity. No, my friend. Joe Biden did not support surgeries on children as young as 6 like Donald Trump does. Donald Trump said as long as they've got the parents' permission, they can be as young as 6. He doesn't care. So he's failed on your bullshit culture war. How does that make you feel? That wouldn't make me feel too good. But to be honest, I wasn't a dipshit that voted on the culture wars, so I didn't have that issue.
Should they be allowed to stay in the United States, or should they be deported?
Well, it depends what they're if they're doing drugs or they're criminals, no. If they want asylum, they're running away from being killed or something, maybe.
So how do we know whether or not they're here to sell drugs, here seeking asylum?
Well, somebody
Y'all gotta, oh Jesus, so much cope, ladies and gentlemen. So much cope. No, you're brainwashed, this guy. And your name isn't as nearly as creative as mine, so get cooked.
has to ask them or check into it or...
And do you think we can trust somebody if they say they are seeking asylum, knowing that there are
So
over
you're a
10 million?
Donald Trump person.
I'm just asking you the questions.
Yeah, I guess
Oh no, he
so.
is
Bye.
definitely a
Okay.
Donald Trump
Do you guys support
person.
mass deportations?
No, definitely not.
Do you support mass deportations?
No.
Yeah, why would you
Only
support
criminal.
mass deportations? You realize how that sounds, right? Yeah, asking a political question from a lady that just wants coffee. Seriously, dude, like, Nick Shirley is a menace. Nick Shirley is a menace. I disagree, Mr. Stinky Tip. That's a very interesting name. But I think Democrats are far and away better for our country. Iran has not capitulated. Are you talking about them saying they're opening up the Hormuz Strait? I haven't seen any evidence besides them just saying that, but I would love that, but that doesn't deal with the main issue. The Hormuz Strait, all you Trumpers realize, the Hormuz Strait was a side quest that Donald Trump unlocked, right? It wasn't the main quest. He's still got to slay Alduin, and he's out here fucking with the gems. You guys know what I'm saying? Like, he still has to fight Alduin. And he hasn't even begun the quest. He doesn't even know who Delphine is, okay? His ass doesn't even know who Delphine is. And he's pretending like we won. No, my friend, the Hormuz Strait, like I said, that was a side quest. That was a side quest. The main quest is Trump? Don't know quite what that means, unless you're comparing him to, like, Alduin. Which, yes, I would say he's very close to Alduin. Not as cool, though. And obviously, you know, a lot wider. Oh, this is just cope, Ricky. You know that. This is cope. You don't know the real plan. Bro, I know what our leaders tell us, and it's up to them to sell this war to the American people. It's not up to the American people to find out why they're okay with this war. No, it's up to Donald Trump and his admin to sell this war to the American people. And they have done anything but. Ask your average American if they're happy about this war, and they say no. They say this is a huge fuck up. Trump supporters say this is something we didn't vote for, and yet you're still coping. Oh, you don't know the real plan. No, I know what our leaders tell us, which is typically what we're doing, I imagine, you know? I can't imagine there's some secret operation going on that is just super secret that the public can't know about it. I mean, they were pretty fucking obvious about what they were going to do before they attacked. So why wouldn't Donald Trump and his admin at least tell us what's going on? Could it be because they don't have any fucking idea either? The world may never know.
Only criminal must be deported.
Do you support mass deportations?
No,
What should Donald Trump do now that he's
he
president-elect?
should go away.
Amen.
Done.
Do you support mass deportations?
I don't know how I feel about that, honestly.
For people that came into the country illegally, do you support them being deported, or should they stay here in the United States?
Oh, they should probably go.
Do you guys support mass deportations?
No, not at all.
And what should happen to all the people that are coming across the border illegally?
I mean, I'm not, like, I don't know a whole lot about, like, the policies that, like, he's implementing or anything
So it's
about...
probably right here, Nick Shirley should have realized, oh, she doesn't know what she's talking about? Well, I probably shouldn't put her in the video. But because he's so content-brained, he has to put I guarantee he puts every female he meets in this video. He's content-brained, guys. Poor man. Poor man. I fight for a world where Nick Shirley does not have to be so content-brained. Where, you know what would Nick Shirley, like, if he wasn't in politics, what would Nick Shirley's YouTube channel be about? Cool rocks he found while walking on a sidewalk. I think that might be one of them, honestly. I found a cool rock. Oh, dude, yes, he is definitely a cool rock collector. As many people are. I think we got it, guys. Yeah, he'd definitely be collecting rocks and telling his YouTube channel how cool they are. If he wasn't paid by the Republicans, that is. Unfortunately, he is the definition of astroturfed. Fortnite compilations. Ooh, that one's a good one, too. He would probably bum rush yelling, "It's just a prank." These are good guesses, honestly. These are really good guesses. I think the Fortnite compilations with the, like, low effort prank material, I think that would be Nick Shirley's winning. Yep, offensive meme compilation number 90. Dude, that's so true. Unfortunately, he's paid off by the Republicans, so he can't pursue his passion, but maybe one day. Maybe one day we'll see a Nick Shirley Fortnite compilation clip. It's gotta be... Okay, hold on. So if this man, like, he seems like he's been on the internet for a while. Is there any, like, compilations or like, any old media of Nick Shirley? If not, that goes to my theory that he's a clone. But if so, I would love to see that.
like a whole lot of politics. I just don't support like how he's encouraging other people to treat like immigrants in a way that it's not with any like dignity.
Right now there's millions of migrants that came in just these past 4 years.
Okay, so millions is it's 3 million people came in illegally, which sounds like a lot, but it's really not that much. We live in a pretty big country, guys. 340 million people, so it's not like that's a huge amount right there. Sneaking into black neighborhood and saying the N-word prank, gone wrong. She don't know what the fuck she's saying. As if I'm gonna trust somebody whose name is Trump is king. You know we don't have any kings here, right, man? If you want a king, you can move to Russia, Saudi Arabia. Wait, right now? I don't know what you're... Oh, I mean, yeah, if anybody can find some old videos of Nick.
Years alone. And so there is an issue, and there are criminals that are here. Would you support the deportation of criminals, migrants?
I mean, they have to go through a process.
Yeah, and something else, like, of course I'm okay. I wouldn't allow Trump is king. It's the 88. What do you mean? I have no idea what you mean by that. But, anyways. He said millions of people coming in right now. Oh, right now? Yeah, that's something else that's very interesting. Like, if Trump's immigration policy was so effective, he probably wouldn't have a shit ton of people coming in. And it's just very opaque about what's going on at the border right now. I think we're gonna have a lot of Democrat investigations when we win the midterms, and I think the border numbers would be an interesting to take a look in, because our economy is suffering like we would expect, but even some admin officials are saying, oh no, the border's not entirely shut down. It's very strange. And much like most of this administration, it's extremely opaque. We don't really understand what's going on right now. Which I'm very against. I would very much like to know if our money is being spent well in the border, or if maybe we don't need to spend so much money for CBP agents. Maybe people are afraid now. Isn't that what they want? They want people to be too afraid to come into the US? Maybe they are afraid now. Who knows? Isn't that great, by the way? Yeah, we want people to be afraid to come into America. We want people to feel the fear of being persecuted just because of your race. That's what we want. Right, guys? No, of course not. It's just ridiculous. We are a nation of immigrants. We benefit so much. We benefit so much from having legal immigration, and, well, I wouldn't say we benefit too much from illegal immigration, but, I mean, they do pay more into the system. We do benefit from it, but people are afraid of the word illegal, so I think that's really the only reason people have such opposition, is because they are afraid of the word illegal. I think that's it, guys. I don't think they really think too much about it. And you see it in their thought logic. If they're illegal, well, they're illegal. They're breaking a law. As if everybody who says that hasn't sped at least once in their life. I'm a responsible driver, so I don't speed. But it's just very ironic. Yeah.
You know, but we also have a lot of criminals here in the United States.
Have you guys heard about the Lake and Riley story?
No.
So
Of course, he's gonna lecture them about Lake and fucking Riley. What about the mass murderers that are, there are serial killers that are native born. But it's actually interesting. Most serial killers in America have been native born and not here illegally. So it sounds much more like we have an issue in America rather than people coming across the border. Sounds like we might have a mental health crisis, but Republicans only like to mention that when they're talking about gun control, and then they completely forget about it. Mental health care? Oh, I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, great.
She was a Georgia student. She was a nursing student at Georgia. She went for a run in the morning, and she was killed by an illegal immigrant who crossed the border illegally. And that same migrant was also living...
that happens, though. It's not just illegal immigrants. And I feel like that's the focus, like, with whatever it is that he's saying. But it's not just illegal immigrants here, like, kidnapping or, like, murdering people.
God, a powerful rebuke from this lady that doesn't even know politics. That's actually a really good rebuke to that. Good job, ma'am. That's a very good rebuke, in my opinion. Like, you guys are pretending like it's just illegal immigrants that do this. I've said this before. I don't think Republicans really care about crime. They don't. They're totally fine with the Trump administration committing as many crimes as possible in the most high position of the land. What about Chicago that has 46 shootings in a weekend? Yeah, we should probably focus on that. But, I understand to bring down those crime numbers, you're going to have a soft approach rather than just lacing everybody with bullets. I understand that to combat crime and like that, you have to have reach out programs. You have to have youth programs. But to MAGA, that's woke. And they don't like the woke. So, unfortunate.
Yeah, we aren't saying that every migrant is a criminal.
I understand, but that's kind of like the
You are, though. You're saying the Laken Riley case is representative of all immigrants because you're using it as an example of why immigration is bad. But if you look at the statistics, native-born Americans are far more likely to commit a crime. And I'm not saying that's because Americans are dangerous or anything like that. We do have a mental health care problem in America. And I really am sick of hearing the Republicans constantly complain, constantly go against gun reform, but at the same time not address the issue that they all point to. It's infuriating, dude, because people are suffering. There are people that do have real mental health care issues, and instead of addressing those, they're just going to use it as an excuse. You know, I understand why in certain big cities gun reform might make sense, you know? Especially, I feel like a better way to approach this is if we actually tackled the mental health care problems. We didn't have a mental health care problem until you Democrats started acting. What are you talking about? We didn't have school shootings before the woke? Is that what you're saying, bro? Are you legitimately saying we didn't have mental health care problems before the woke? Are you seriously saying that? I would love to know. Because I would very much disagree. I think America has had a mental health care problem for a very long time. And it's our unwillingness to address it that leads to a lot of issues. And there's real damage done when you guys say, oh, mental health care isn't real. It drives people to isolation and feeling like they're outcast instead of actually addressing the problem. Higher livable wages create less stress. One moment. And regulated mental health care. Sorry, I gotta read the chat. One moment, guys. Sorry. And regulated mental health care as well, for a minority, it would decrease violence and self-harm. Or for a majority. Yeah, for sure. No, I think we would really benefit from even just once a year having people go to a mental health clinic and get checked up. If mental health care is not real, then you're for gun control. Yeah, exactly. That's what they're saying. Like, I don't want to take away your guns, guys. I think it's an amazing right to have, but if we're not going to address the issue, which is mental health care, then we got to do this next best thing, which is address how people who are mentally ill get weapons. I'm advocating for you to keep your guns, but you're advocating for people taking it away.
The point that you're...
What I'm saying is the mental health issue is a thing, but the Democrats have made it into something way different, a lot fucking worse. What are you talking about? I truthfully want to know. How have the Democrats made mental health care worse? I'm interested to hear your theory on that, Glenn. Glenn Lowerly.
You're trying to get across right now and like trying to justify like the whole mass deportation thing, because it's a lot deeper than all that.
Mm-hmm. But say that person never came to the country, she would still be alive. And so
Just
by protecting the borders, do you think
the way that if criminals here that are like U.S. citizens, like born and raised, like kill and murder people.
Hey, thanks for the reactions, by the way,
too,
guys.
you know?
That's huge. That
like
gets
a lot
me in
of like
front
our
of new
mass
faces.
shootings in America have been done.
Go off. Excuse me, ma'am. Oh, geez, the quality. It's already at 360. What do you want from me?
By Americans.
Yeah.
You know, like that's and we still like.
So we should still allow like criminals across the border then?
That's not what I'm saying.
Kind of is.
It's not what I'm saying.
So say someone avoids the process.
Like, look at this fucking loser. Obviously, all he can do is debate people that have no idea what they're talking about. I would love to talk to Nick Shirley and just really pick his brain on some things, but the issue is Nick Shirley would never talk to someone like me because I actually have an idea about what's going on in the world. All he can do is just pick these innocent people that have nothing to do with politics and try to school them on knowing more. But if Nick Shirley got in a room with someone that actually knew what they were talking about, he would get decimated. Evidently, you have your blinders on. You can't see how... Well, you can't give me a fucking example. You can't give me a fucking example of how we have created... we have made mental health care worse. What are you talking about, bro? You're coping. You're coping and seething right now, my friend. And that's not healthy. I don't recommend it. I think you should definitely not cope and seethe. It's pretty embarrassing. Yeah, let's close state borders.
I don't want to talk about this anymore because we don't agree. We're not going to agree. Like, we're not going to come to like an understanding. So I think I'm just.
Yeah, when what Dem or lefty ever said, let all the criminals in? I've never, I support legal immigration. I do not support illegal immigration. But it's just a straw man that they want to create, That's what's sad about it. They don't actually want to fix any issues. Yeah, we voted a rapist in as a president. So, yeah, spare me on this we only care about criminals point when you guys literally elected a criminal into the White House. Spare me, please. And spare me about fraud as well. This is what I find so stupid about Nick Shirley, is he's so convinced, he's like, his big initiative is to stop fraud, but he doesn't see the most self-evident example of fraud in Donald Trump. He just doesn't see it. Release the files? Oh man, those things are... Only a Democrat will be able to do that, unfortunately. The Republicans have linked themselves so much with Trump that they would be fucked if any real damning evidence, and there already is a good amount of damning evidence, but if anything else, I think it will break the camel's back. But who knows? Who knows? No, I'm joking. I know that the Republicans won't do anything like that, unfortunately.
Done with this interview.
I'm not even giving my stand.
I'm not even... why can't I harass these women? Why can't I harass these women about politics when they're just trying to have a good day? What the hell? Purple hair. Oh my goodness, bro. See, that's what you're talking about. This is what I'm talking about. You guys give a fuck about a person's hair color rather than the economy, rather than actually supporting comprehensive policy. You just want to cry about culture wars.
On this, I'm just asking them, going one level deeper into the questions.
Yeah, I don't even have hair. I don't even have hair. And yet you're still whining about blue hair, blue and purple hair. It's so embarrassing, bro. It's obvious you guys just want to fight on culture wars and not actually get anything done. Traditional family values. Oh my God, bro. Yeah, even Kirk was killed by a groyper. I don't know if that's necessarily fact or not, but does seem to be, more details emerging. It does seem to be he might have been a bit of a groypy. Yeah, Glenn, you gotta lay off the Russian propaganda, man. You know, most of your influencers that you hold dearly are paid off by Russia. You don't know that Trump is a pedophile. You have no actual proof of that. So what does proof mean? Because I find this very a lot of people like to say that there's no evidence, even though there is evidence that Trump's very much into younger women and that he was good friends with Epstein. The only reason Epstein and Trump split up was because Epstein got caught. Have you seen the interview, or not the interview, but the call that Donald Trump gives to the police department about Epstein? You're not stating facts. You're just stating your opinion. This is all your opinion. Literally, I want you to... You're saying that... Here, hold on. The Democrats are prompting children to have surgeries to transition from boys to girls and girls to boys. That's insanity right there. Why is it insane? Why? I actually want to know, why is that insane? That if somebody has been displaying symptoms of gender dysphoria and it is best solved with affirming care, that sounds like a lot more logical than what you're saying. You're saying, no, don't let them express their gender identity and let them have even more mental, have worse mental health. That's what you're advocating for. Also, by the way, I just want to point out that I don't support surgeries until the age of 18. Other places, other states disagree, but I do support gender affirming care. And most of that is reversible. Now, in extreme cases, I would go as low as 16, but that's it. Not purple, green, or yellow, or whatever. That just shows you're a little smarter than some of the others. No, not at all. I think a lot of people being... So, what you're pointing to is a lot of people being upset with the Trump administration. And they have full right to be. Because Donald Trump promised a lot of shit, didn't deliver, and now is pretending like he did. No, people have plenty of right to be upset with Donald Trump. And when you call out, when you make fun of their hair color, it just shows you're not actually wanting to have a serious conversation. You just want to cry about something. And I don't think that's going to push the forward in a positive direction, man. Joe Biden didn't do anything for the United States except for drag down just like Obama did. He didn't do... What are you talking about? Joe Biden did amazing policy that's going to help the United States far in the future. He wasn't like Donald Trump, who only promised you things until he's out of office. Joe Biden planted seeds. Donald Trump doesn't do that. I'm not on Russian propaganda, cuz, well, it seems like you might be a little bit.
Getting mad for whatever reason. Like, do you support...
Goofy Stream says, Scenario Stories 1. Oh, do you have fun AI stories we can listen to, Scenario Stories 1? I'd love to hear your channel. List the policies? Oh, well, I'm glad you asked. The Infrastructure Act, which provided broadband to all of America and continues in this day to fix our roads and fix our infrastructure. Another example would be the American Rescue Plan, which brought half of the children in poverty out of it for an entire year. He also had the Inflation Reduction Act, which was such a genius piece of policy that it paid for itself. I am a big liberal streamer. What are you talking about? Everybody knows about me. I'm not failing. I'm doing amazing. Because I have an amazing community that is incredibly badass. What are you talking about? I'm the biggest liberal streamer on the platform. That's as truthful as anything Donald Trump has said. I don't need a shout out, and I'm not going to become something I disagree with just for clout. I am, unlike many Republican influencers who truly don't believe what they're saying, I believe everything I say, so I'm not going to become a Republican. Anyways, I'm honestly considering opening up my phone line right now. It seems like we've got a lot of dissenters.
For a criminal that comes across the border illegally or not? Simple question. Now that Donald Trump is president-elect, he's saying he's going to have the largest mass deportation effort in American history. Do you support mass deportations?
If they came here illegally, yes.
It came out the other day that the murder of Laken Riley, he obviously came over the border illegally. He was being housed inside.
It came out the other day? What are you talking about? This has been something the Republicans constantly talk about. The other day? You mean like fucking a year ago? 2 years ago? I mean, Jesus Christ, man. If it was a systemic issue, you'd think they'd be talking about someone other than Laken Riley. You'd think they'd have someone new to talk about. But unfortunately for the Republicans, they're just, you know, immigrants have a lower crime rate. Show all the parents that let their kids and help their kids transition into something else before the age of 18 should be held accountable. Not at all. What if the child is displaying symptoms of gender dysphoria? Do you want them to just keep those feelings down? What if they're suicidal, man? Wouldn't you much rather want somebody to live their best life according to our American values of freedom, liberty, and justice for all than be somebody they're not? I think it's interesting, and I'm not saying Glenn or anyone here in the chat is doing this, but what I find interesting is they accuse us of sexualizing children, yet they're the ones that think sex is happening inside of school bathrooms. It's kind of insane. Hormuz Strait open for business. Great. So we've achieved something that we've fixed a problem we didn't have before the Iranian regime shut it down. So when are we going to actually get to our war goals we set out for, like the gaining the enriched uranium, stuff like that? Well, yeah, he had a lot of shit to fix. He had to deal with the pandemic, man. And he had a lot of shit from the Trump administration he had to fix. And he still got amazing comprehensive policy done. So Joe Biden was a blessing. We didn't know how good we had it. I don't bitch about Garcia, even though it is a very obvious crime the administration committed. I skip comments that make Biden look bad? What are you talking about? Patriot Grim, I just feel bad for you because you are the definition of a concern troll. I have lost all respect for this guy. What are you talking about, bro? As if you had any respect to begin with for me. What was the crime? Oh, deporting him illegally. A judge ordered him not to be deported, and they still deported him, so... I unsubbed? Well, it doesn't seem to be working, because you continue to come onto my channel. So... if you unsubbed, it's not working. You might have to hit it twice or something. America has always been great. This is something else that upsets me. I think America has always been great. Where is Morrowind? We've been playing Minecraft for a while. I just enjoy it as a game. I can turn off my brain and talk about politics too. He was not an illegal immigrant, my friend. That's the issue you seem to be having. He was not an illegal immigrant. And it's an example of the Trump administration ignoring the law. Did he get returned? He did get returned, but the issue is the Trump administration still ignored that. Ignored a judge's order. And if the administration is allowed to ignore judges, then the rule of law has been completely broken in our society. Do you think the president should just be able to send anyone he wants out of the country?
Migrant shelters for completely free, then given a free flight to Georgia. Would you say one?
The crime was deporting him. The crime was deporting him, my friend. And it's not just that. The crime was also Trump ignoring the judge's orders.
Migrant crime is one too many.
Yeah, I think if it's illegal crossing, it's just a basic premise. We live in a time where people want to do away with rules and law and make exception for this, that, or the other. Wrong is still wrong. And unfortunately,
Here, Patriot, I got you. I'll help you out, man. I got you, brother. All you're doing is speculating. That's all you're doing. No, this is what the judges in multiple circuits have said. So, seems like you guys are the ones
we're
speculating.
getting away from that as a society. That's a real problem.
What do you do for work?
I'm a teacher.
You're a teacher, and would you let the school keep all the doors unlocked and let anybody come in?
No, we lock those. We have security measures for the protection of the
Yeah?
students that are supposed to be there.
Mm-hmm. And so why do you think a lot of these people we're talking to, a lot of people here on this boardwalk right here, they're for people living here, even if they come over the border illegally? How does that make sense?
It doesn't, unfortunately.
It doesn't. No, it does. I understand why people would not want these mass incarcerations happening. The crime was he got deported, but he was returned. That doesn't nullify the crime that was originally committed. You know that, Hood. And then he was deported again based on the withholding order on him. Seems like they followed the law. No, not at all. They did not follow the law. They ordered the plane to take off. So no, the question that remains right now is that they're asking in the circuit courts is who was responsible, DHS or DOJ? They are not saying a crime was not committed. They're just trying to decide who was responsible for it. On abortion, in their abortion terms, we would be able to abort a child if they were showing... No, that's not true, man. You're just... See, who's the one memeing now? That's a meme position that you know no one actually supports. Just sad. The cope is real today. The cope is very real. And, you know, the judges disagree with you right now, guys. You may feel yourself to be scholarly law experts, but the judges that do this for a living, they disagree. They do know that a crime was committed. Now they're wondering who committed the crime, DHS or DOJ? That's the issue right now. Nick Shirley, do you lock your school to keep people out? Teacher, yes. Nick Shirley, damn it. True. Yeah, no child is getting aborted after birth. That's just something Donald Trump said. No, the reason we have those provisions, Nick Shirley sleeps with his mother, that's what I heard, actually. But the reason that those laws are in place is if a medical emergency is happening, they don't want a doctor having to think through his head, oh, well, I get in trouble for performing a surgery on this woman. Guys, don't remember what the former leader was trying to do? You can't... What are you talking about? What was our former leader trying to do? Our former absolute badass Joe Biden. Please enlighten me. Fuck, I might turn on the phone lines after the 2-hour mark. Seems to be a lot of cope in here. Seems to be a lot of cope. Yeah, I don't know if Glenn is real, to be quite honest. He might be a Russian bot, considering how hard he tried to deny it.
Our education system has failed people for a lot of years, and I see it firsthand. People are telling people what to think.
Bro, what? No, that's what a former Virginia governor said on a radio show. What are you even talking about? You guys want me to turn on the call-in line? Unrelated, but can I play the first second of this? Yeah, sure. Why not? Let me see what you're sending out. By the way, if you guys are enjoying the stream, don't forget to like and subscribe. It does help out the channel, and it gets me boosted out there in the algorithm. I do 2 shows every day, one in the morning where I talk about news. Oh, I don't know if I can, Bill. That might get copyrighted. Yeah, Nintendo is very... There we go. I think that's as much as I can play. Biden being fed by tubes? Not at all. Biden honestly looked more mentally capable than fucking Donald Trump right now. Didn't have the copyright mark in the description. I understand, but Nintendo is very particular. Speed it up to Void CW? Oh, good idea. Good idea. Put it at 2 times speed. This speaks to me. Yeah, that speaks to me. Alright, I'll put on the call-in line real quick, because it seems like we got some cope that some people might want to deal with. Let me put on the source real quick. There's no abortions after pregnancy, right? I mean, that's what we try to tell these people, but they seem to be very convinced that we have we have after birth abortions. It's fucking insane. Oh God, song on crack now? Hell yeah, it is. Much like most of MAGA's base currently. Dude, I was watching on Tom's stream. Shout out to the Tomfoolery Show. Cool guy, go check him out. But on Tom's stream, he was watching this dude that was heavily into QAnon. And it definitely looked like he was on some amphetamines of some sort. Anyways. Yeah, the call-in number is there for any MAGA that wants to call in and tell me why I'm so wrong about my opinions. Anyways, let's continue on with Nick Shirley.
Instead of how to think and how to critically analyze.
Now that Donald Trump will become the president here in the United States, are you worried about being deported?
Sí, pues sí, la verdad sí, pues como en las noticias igual han salido pues que no van a dejar pasar, que van a cerrar.
Oh, guys, guess what? Nick Shirley speaks Spanish. That means he's super intelligent. That's my favorite cope recently about Nick Shirley. Because anybody looking at this man can tell he is a mouth-breathing moron. Okay? Poor guy, he needs some nostril surgery or something. But he can speak Spanish, guys, so that means he's really smart. Dude, I'm gonna learn French someday, and I don't think that proves my intelligence.
Aplicación de SPYING, y pues más que nada, pues.
Are you guys worried about becoming deported once he's inaugurated as president?
Sí, igual uno sigue como con el mismo miedo siempre, pues, porque uno por más que todo no se quiere regresar a su país en las condiciones en las que está.
So, if you guys are deported,
They literally ran this for several election cycles. What are you talking about? And on top of that, in the conversation, did he say stillbirth? That's cope. Well, it just doesn't happen. So, you know, you can point to like a specific quote, but that doesn't show that it's happening. We would need actual data to show, oh no, you know, they are killing the baby after it's born, which is just fucking insane. That's an insane fucking thing to believe. And it just doesn't happen. I mean, I'd be outraged too if that was happening, but it doesn't happen. It's just something that the Republican media has served you up yet again to try and fearmonger, because that's all they can do. That's their entire platform. Democrats provide real solutions while Republicans run on fake problems. It's pretty obvious at this point. Look who the most recent one is. You know, they got off abortions, now it's immigrants. You got to be afraid of the immigrants, guys. Like, how are you not able to just tell these guys are lying to you?
deported back to Venezuela, will Venezuela accept you guys?
What the fuck is a post-birth abortion? Something that doesn't happen. Something that doesn't happen. It's a fake term created by Trump and his Republican allies to try to sell the myth that Democrats support post-birth abortions. And can you fuck it? That's just inconceivable, dude. Why would anybody support that? That would literally be murder. The reason, I'll say it again. The reason those provisions are in there are if a doctor has to make a quick medical decision, deciding between the woman's life and the baby's life, and they choose the woman, they don't want to feel like they are pressured or anything like that to make a decision. Which means they can live outside the body, so I think up to 32 weeks an abortion could be done. Can't be done. Yeah, and that's generally where I kind of fall in line with most Democrats, you know. I don't think there should be an abortion on somebody who's about to have a baby. Of course not. There are extenuating circumstances that can happen, though. And I don't want doctors to feel like they're going to be committing a crime if they decide to save the child instead of the mother.
Wow, so Donald Trump may want to deport everybody, but
Bro, why can't you just speak to them in Spanish? So many scary marginalized classes. Bwahaha! Women, LGBTQ, and immigrants should feel empowered. MAGA fears them, because none of us are scared of MAGA. Amen. I think these guys are a bunch of, they're a bunch of nerds, honestly. A bunch of losers that really didn't get much attention, either in high school or in their young adult life. And so now they've bought into Donald Trump's lies, and they're just continually doubling down. But at a certain point, the American people are, and you're seeing it already, they're getting sick of this, dude. They do not care for this extremist agenda that Donald Trump is perpetuating. They want their actual lives to be better. They don't give a fuck about what's happening to a trans person. They don't. What they do give a fuck about is their paycheck, is their working conditions, how well their job treats them. And these are all things the Democrats care about as well. You will never see a Republican run on expanding workers' rights. At least not this Republican Party. People don't realize the dangers of pregnancy preeclampsia, which can kill the mother, or epidemic pregnancies. Yeah, they just don't. It's a lot more simple to believe that our medicine has advanced to such a degree that we can prevent that, but we can't right now. Maybe with advancements in CRISPR technologies, we could potentially solve those issues, but we don't have that ability right now. And it does seem like Republicans think our medical technology is so great that we have the power to prevent that. We don't right now. Maybe if Republicans didn't stop cutting funding to these research programs, we'd be able to find those cures. But you guys want us to stop the government spending. You guys want us to fund private businesses instead, which have no incentive to cure abortions.
He's not going to send them back to Venezuela because Venezuela is actually not even accepting their own citizens. Why do you think?
Well, why are they doing that? Why doesn't Donald Trump pressure them to accept their own citizens? Like, seriously, you should be asking that question, Nick. You should seriously be asking that question. But poor guy, he is lacking a couple brain cells, so I don't know if he realizes what he's saying, unfortunately. Well, it's not just Planned Parenthood. It's other research programs that we could fund that would lead to less death. Anyways.
I think Los Angeles would want to declare themselves as a sanctuary city.
I don't know if you're gonna like my answer.
I want it.
Okay, because it's a bunch of liberals. I mean, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Bunch of damn liberals.
Because it's illegal.
It's a bunch of planned liberals, ladies and gentlemen. It's a bunch of liberals. Bunch of dirty damn liberals, ladies and gentlemen. That's the reason. I love this. Yeah, Nick Shirley, just some random dude off the side of the street. He'll definitely know about what border policies and stuff. He'll know all about it, guys. Don't you see, this man's an expert in the field of immigration. He's an expert. Why are we questioning his, why are we questioning him? It's this, oh, are you talking about this? That's the sound of me crafting. No, it's not quite 420 yet, ladies and gentlemen. We're not ripping bongs out here, okay? It's my Minecraft noises. I apologize. I'm collecting stone. Big stone collector out here. Cypress Hill. Hey, let's go. Big fan of Cypress Hill. But I think we'll have a fun 420 stream when it comes up. I think that would be fun to have. Even though I do not live in a legal state, so... Inhale, exhale. Dude, do you guys remember the song, I think it's Chronic by Dr. Dre? It's like, inhale, exhale. I like that song a lot. Shout out, Dr. Dre. Don't really hear too much about him anymore. Insane in the membrane. Insane in the brain. Dude, shout out. They got an early 420 block party tomorrow. I'm gonna get blazed. Ah, lucky you. I wish I could partake in that. Unfortunately, Kansas continues its antiquated laws on marijuana. Damn, I thought I'd get a lot of callers calling in. They seem to be really upset about the things I was saying. Now it seems like it's nowhere to be found.
That'd be just like if I got a DWI and was driving a car. It's illegal. I'd go to jail.
Do you think a lot of people are being too compassionate on this issue when they say, well, we should just let him stay in here and give him the chance? Meanwhile, they did cross the border illegally?
Sure. I mean, you can't go into any other country illegally on this planet. So, I mean, why would
Bro,
we be
what?
different?
Bro, is it what? Bro found the tweakiest of tweakers in LA, and now they're just asking him questions. You should take a drive to Colorado for the 420 show. Honestly, I'm thinking about it next year.
Why do you think
If the channel really takes off, we might go to Colorado together. I think that would be fun to have like some field trips for the class. Yeah, they were literally the definition of a keyboard warrior. Poor guys. You know, I called into shows that that disagreed with Kamala. If you guys dug up, you could probably on those old MAGA panels. I mean, I don't know if you can find them anymore, but I don't think Kansas is a real state. No, Kansas is a real state, man. I promise. We're just really boring right now. Dude, we could have been the marijuana capital of the nation if we were smart about how we, cuz we're a we're a very heavily farming based economy, and we could have made bank on marijuana legalization. But the Republicans here, they do not like it. I know our governor tried to pass a couple laws around it, but they kept getting rejected, so isn't that sweet? And it's our last year of governorship with Laura Kelly. Oh god, I can't believe it. I hope she joins, like, I hope she becomes a senator or something, honestly. I would love to see a Democratic senator in Kansas. I can't believe Kansas isn't legal, being right next to Colorado. That is just stupid. Oh yeah, it's very fucking dumb. All of our neighbors, Oklahoma, Missouri, Colorado, even Nebraska, have all legalized it to some extent. We are the one holdout that it's just ridiculous. We could be we're leaving so much money on the table, dude. And for what? Why are we leaving all this money on the table? Just because we're afraid of it? To be fair, though, Kansas does have a storied history with prohibition, so not too surprising, honestly. But still, a little ridiculous. Yeah, 35 out of 50 states have already legalized it, and we're the ones that are too afraid to, we're one of the states just too afraid to legalize it. I honestly think that has to do, we do have a very, being in the middle of nowhere, they do put a lot of prisoners here, so they might be afraid we'll let some criminals out that did the crime of smoking a J, the worst crime known to history and mankind.
the United States has allowed this to happen.
Bro, does this man even have, like, teeth? No offense, but does he have teeth? That's not, you know, don't judge somebody based on if they have teeth, but does he? Yeah, I agree. The entire state of Kansas should be a giant weed field. We'd make bank. And we could actually have cash crops instead of just doing your agricultural staples. But no, we just want to continue to be afraid of it. Instead of making money, we're just going to, you know, soy out about marijuana. Very sad. Get fucking wrecked, loser. Take this L.
Happened these past 4 years.
Man, I don't know. I really don't. Idiots. That's the only thing I can say.
Yeah, I'm gonna believe this man calling me an idiot. He seems like a trustworthy source. Another example of Nick Shirley's amazing independent journalist talents.
I mean,
Nick Shirley has just as much credibility right now as the people that would go around saying, would you rather have a gay son or a thought daughter? What a mind-boggling question, honestly. Would I rather have a gay son or a thought daughter? Wow. He's up to those levels of intelligence and journalistic integrity. This kind of seems like Nick Shirley, you know, maybe he's not doing too well on the views. Kind of feels like that might be the case. Because, like, why else would you be... Oh, hey, man. Like, why else would you make a video like this? Oh, no. One of these fucking idiots has a music box on his back. Where the fuck are you? Where are you, man? I've always wanted a son. There we go. Steph's option is obvious. Gay son. Yeah, I think it's very embarrassing of Nick Shirley to be doing these types of interviews. And just shows he's not like an actual journalist. When he gets anxious, he closes the house. Interesting. Alright, one moment, guys. I'm just getting some fucking sweet-ass potions of haste. Couple Wilden wings for the road, you know what I'm saying? Bro, we're not even talking about oil prices. I know you want to hail that as the win you think it is, but we all know that oil prices go up like a rocket and come down like a feather, man. So I don't think you're going to be getting the dub you think you're going to get with that one. Dude, Nick Shirley hasn't exposed anything. Like, literally nothing. I feel bad for all the people he constantly tricks into believing his videos. I do. They're believing some crazy brain rot. Yeah, we wouldn't be having this problem. You can't stand the truth is what it is. Bro, we're not even talking about the Hormuz Strait right now. I'm sorry that you just want to continue your MAGA talking points that you were told by your dear leader, but I'm not here for that, man. If you want to call in and debate me and tell me why I'm so wrong, feel free to, but this is literally just cope from you. Anyways, let's hear the great philosopher
just want me to
speak.
be honest. That's about sums it up, you know?
With all these illegal immigrants that have came to the country, what should happen to them if they did cross over the border illegally?
Nothing. I mean, Slay, Anna Delvey did it. Like, you know, let's have people come in. The more the merrier. I mean, it does not say RSVP on a Statue of Liberty.
So how should people...
Amen. This woman's a fucking queen. Amen. No, Steffelson is not wrong. You just don't want to address his question, so all you're going to do is just say he's wrong. You're not actually going to address what he said, which is a very apt statement. Was it worth our U.S. service members dying for that cheap of oil? Probably not. And it's not even that cheap. It's still very high. Yeah, you're just ignorant, man. You don't want to accept the truth because it hurts your feelies. Well, unfortunately for you, my brother in Christ, facts do not care about your feelies. They don't. But this fucking woman is a queen, dude. Let him in. Fucking slay. Dude, I like this woman. She's cool. I think that's based liberal Stacy right here. Open borders. Oh God. You know what's funny when you say you don't support open borders, it kind of like it hits it's a break in the code for MAGA. Still, it's a break in the code for them. I can't believe you would call Steffelson bullshit Democrat. He is a based fucking Chad. So how dare you say that? How dare you, sir? Let's see if we got any calls, though. Nope. No one's coping. Poor guys. Poor guys. Anyways.
However they can.
Would you sleep with your doors open?
I mean, no, I live in LA.
They're unlocked all the time.
I live in LA.
Would you let anybody sleep inside your house?
No.
He sleeps in my house all the time. So
Damn. This lady's a fucking queen. Hold on, ladies and gentlemen. Nick Shirley's about to fucking... He's about to glitch out. He doesn't know how to deal with such a fucking based lib Stacy. He doesn't. You can tell. The poor guy is stun locked right now. Yeah, sorry. That's a great point, Steph. Sorry I'm not impressed with Trump fixing the problem, almost fixing the problem he solved, or he caused. Like, I'm sorry. Do you want everybody to stand up and clap? Everybody stood up and clapped. I swear, that's kind of how, like, MAGA expects us to talk about this Strait of Hormuz opening. Everybody clapped. Everybody stood up and said, wow, Donald Trump, you're amazing. And they blew him off because he's such a based Chad, right, guys? That's what they want us to act like. It's just insane. They don't have any more criticism for a guy they elected. Just goes right over them. Oh, well. Why do they always use the will you let them stay in your house as an excuse? Immigrants make each applicant be self-supporting in some way. They need to actually learn the immigration process. Yeah, exactly. But they don't want to. They're much more comfortable with immigrants being this big bad that they have to be afraid of than actually learning the nuances of immigration and how we can be more effective with our immigration. They don't want to hear that. They just want to hear immigrant bad and be Islamophobic. That's another one they really enjoy. Being Islamophobic. Just straight up, like, being Islamophobic is one of their favorite pastimes. Yeah, why doesn't Shirley let homeless American vets live with them? That's a great point. Oh my God, the other day, I was watching the Pisco debate between him and, what's his name? Death Noodles, right? And Death Noodles is such a hack. He has become the definition of a grifter, right? Because what he's doing, what he did in that interview or in that debate is so fucking embarrassing. And I truly mean that. Towards the end of the interview, he started saying, well, I just really care about homeless vets, and every party failed on that front. I wish Pisco had the knowledge to confront him on that point, because Democrats have absolutely cared more about homeless veterans and American veterans. Biden increased funding to the VA, to whereas Donald Trump completely withdrew most of the funding. It's night and day who actually gives a fuck about the vets and who uses them as a political football. It's very clear. And I thought it was really gross how Death Noodles was just like, well, that's what I'm running on because no party has fixed it. I wish Pisco would have brought up, you're lying, Nick. You don't know what you're talking about. You obviously didn't see Biden increase funding to the VA. Now, why would that be? Well, probably because you're a partisan fucking hack, but if I'm being good faith, it's just because you didn't know. Death Noodles.
I mean, sure.
So would you let somebody live inside your home for 4 years for completely free? Give them free rent?
Yeah, that's not how it works though, is it? It's not where they don't have to work. Implying we're giving them free houses is very disingenuous. I'm assuming he's talking about when during the pandemic, after, we reinvigorated the hotel industry by mass buying rooms and housing undocumented citizens in it. Do you think that's a great life to be living in a hotel every day? Crammed pack? No, probably not. It's not what Nick Shirley is describing. A basically luxury stay at a resort. No, not at all. But of course, Nick Shirley is a dishonest hack, so he's not going to mention that. Of course not.
Clothes, free phones.
I've done it before.
We both have.
Yeah, I've done it before.
Really?
Yeah.
4 years?
Yeah.
Wow, really?
Ex-relationships, for
I
sure.
literally had an ex-fiance that I was living with for 4 years, so.
Okay, would you let a random stranger walk into your door in the middle of the night?
Bro, shit, of course, he's going to keep trying to dig. Let me dig. But the house problem doesn't make sense because these are not like amazing houses to be living in. Typically, it's a boon to a lot of these rental companies that would have went out of business. But of course, Nick Shirley just has to outrage, just has to soy. Poor guy. Jacardia. That's a cool name. Jesus died for your sins so you can live. Well, thank you, Jesus. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it, dog. Thank you. I think you were just some sand wizard that did some cool things, but I'm glad you've had such an impact on all these people. I think it's pretty great. As for me, I just think he was probably a sand wizard or something like that. A wizard that was good at casting spells. What if Jesus didn't die for our sins? He just died for his sin. What about that? What if he was a selfish douchebag, like a Republican would be? What do you think would happen then? I don't know. I think that's an interesting question.
Inside your house for...
Like, look how scared of them they are. Oh my goodness. Look at these people's faces. She's horrified of Nick. Oh, we got a call. It is from unknown, though, so one moment. Hey, Don, how are you doing today? Yeah, I'm making fun of Nick Shirley a little bit for the hack that he
Okay.
is.
Okay, so you say, like you were saying, why don't you take them in your home excuse?
Yeah, it's not
That's all.
apt. It's not comparable.
Okay, yeah, I saw somebody said, why don't you take in veterans? Well, veterans have contributed to the country and they're legal. They're not illegal.
Yeah.
They didn't come here from
And his question is, why don't you care more about those homeless vets? Why do the Republicans every time they like to use veterans as a political football, but they're never able to actually give funding to them? Because Donald Trump, for example, cut funding to the VA. Biden increased that funding.
I just think it's a straw man's argument whenever you say, why don't you take in veterans or this or that? Like, veterans have contributed to the country compared
yeah,
to.
Why don't we, though?
I think we should, compared to some Haitian illegal that has never paid taxes and is here illegally.
Well,
We should prioritize
undocumented
them.
citizens do pay taxes, but I agree. We do have a housing problem, and there are a lot of homeless vets, and I think that is an absolute travesty.
Okay. Would you say illegal mass open borders have contributed to the housing crisis?
No.
You know, the
it's
more
a lot
people,
more complex than that.
The more people, like, it's called supply and demand. Whenever you bring in millions of people, and then it's called supply and demand. Whenever you have to compete with 10 million illegals for housing,
Well,
everybody
do you agree
needs housing.
that a American citizen will probably have higher housing standards than a undocumented immigrant? Because most of these markets are not being competed for by native-born individuals. It is much more immigrant housing, as in they're a little less of quality, but there's something that gets you in the doorway. Most American
That
citizens
sounds like
aren't.
racism. You're
That's
implying
great.
that immigrants have lower standards.
No, I'm not implying immigrants have lower standards, but you have to expect if you just came into the country, you're going to be living in worse economic conditions than a native-born American. Wouldn't you want that? Isn't that what you advocate for?
No, absolutely not. I want everyone to have a good quality of high quality standard of living. I don't care about. See, I'm not a lefty. I don't care. I'm not hyper focused on race, religion, color.
Neither
of your
am
skin.
I. Why did
everybody's?
it could be a European immigrant? It could be a African immigrant. It could be any number of immigrants. They are expected to have a lower standard of housing. American citizens are not competing for this. But to address your point real quick before you go on to another one, most of the housing problem is not caused by undocumented immigrants. It's caused by private equity firms buying up these houses and sitting on them as an investment.
Name one.
BlackRock.
Name one. Okay, because the other day you said Blackwater, which is a personal.
Blackwater is a yes, because I was talking about Blackwater at the time. I was talking about
you
private military service. No, I referred to it as I referred to the private equity firm as BlackRock and the mercenary group as Blackwater.
But Trump has put into legislation to limit BlackRock buying up all these homes and renting them out, which is causing the hyperinflation of housing.
Yeah, what legislation did he pass?
Do you think
what legislation did he pass?
He initiated it, but it got blocked by the Democrats.
Oh, so he didn't actually do anything.
Well, he tried to, but it got blocked by the Democrats.
Do we consider somebody
just like whenever oil?
Do we weigh somebody's worth as for how much they tried or what they actually did?
Both.
No, we typically history will look upon Trump as of what he did, not what he tried to do.
Just like whenever oil was below $30 a barrel, but he was trying to refill our strategic energy reserves.
He only put $1 million in, or 1 million barrels worth.
No, he just like Biden took it out. He drained our strategic oil reserves.
And we made a profit off of it. But Trump said he was going to refill it when he got into office, but he's only done $1 million worth. Seems like he lied.
He tried to, but Nancy Pelosi blocked it whenever oil was below $30 a barrel. I think it was closer to $20 a barrel.
Oil has never been below $60 a barrel because it's not profitable after $60. If it hits that $60 threshold, it's not profitable. So I don't know where you saw oil being below $30. I'd love to see your statistics on that.
Well, look up CNBC. That's the app that I use. And back in 2020, it was 20. It was 30, maybe 20.
Hold on. I
no,
thought
no,
we were
you
talking
said
about
oil was
right
never
now.
below 60.
I thought we. Oh, I mean,
No,
yes.
don't,
I was.
don't,
Yeah.
don't
Let me
shift the
look at oil
goalposts.
prices. Let me look at oil prices. We'll just do oil prices and.
2020, it went down to $20.48. January 2020. You're wrong again. I don't know
All right,
how
hold
you
on,
have
buddy.
it.
Hold on. I'm verifying what you said. Give me a minute.
You said it's never
let's go
been below
with Brent
$60.
crude. Let's go with Brent crude.
No.
And then let's.
No.
Oh,
You
see,
said it's never been
now.
below $60.
Hold on, buddy. I wanna fact check you here.
Look, what was the price of oil for a 50-gallon barrel? Which
My
you don't know how
friend,
many
it
gallons
has
are in a
never
barrel.
been below fucking $20. That's insane what you're saying.
See, now you first said 60 and now you said 20.
You
I
said
never
20.
it was
That's
below
what
20.
you were saying, bro. And it's
Yeah,
never
and
been,
it was.
even when I'm
January,
looking back, as far back as
you
as
said
it goes,
was never below 60. You said it was never below 60.
it's not below 60. Look at what I'm looking
January
at, friend.
2020. January 2020, $20.48. That was whenever we had COVID.
So you understand that
I'm
that
looking
would
at
be,
the app. I'm looking at the app, CNBC, and I'm looking at Robinhood app. Two different apps confirming it's $20. You said a barrel of oil is never below $60.
It's
I
not.
proved you wrong.
I don't believe
You're a
you,
fool.
bro. I don't believe you.
Look, why can't you?
I'm
you
looking
said
it
you're
up right
looking it
now,
up.
and it's
Look it
not
up.
fitting with what you're saying.
January 2020, the price of oil was $20.48. October 2020, it was $48.52. You said that it was never below $60.
Bro, it's
I
not
proved you
below
wrong.
60
You're
because
an
it's
idiot.
not. No, you're an idiot because you're not showing me the data. You're just saying
I'm trying
something.
to, but why won't you look it up?
I am looking it
October
up. I'm doing it right now, Bubs. All time.
I proved you wrong. October.
You
and you're
haven't
slurring
proved
your
me
speech.
wrong. You haven't
slurring
proved me
your
wrong.
speech.
Bro, you can't
October
keep retreating back
2015.
to I'm slurring my speech when you're getting cooked, okay?
October 2015, $37.04. You said it was never below $60 a barrel.
Oh, so
I'm
you're
proving you wrong.
denying the
You're an
fact that
idiot.
inflation exists. Okay, interesting.
Oh, so now you're moving.
Oh, so now you're saying that we've had massive inflation? Whoa!
You never said with inflation
Bro,
applied.
you're not
$60.
contending with the facts. You're not. You're just creating this
You're getting a little
hyper
emotional. I
scenario.
don't want to upset you. Can you please calm down? I don't want to get you emotional.
Bro, stop
You're
concern
emotional
trolling.
guy.
You are a very emotional person.
You told me it was never below $60.
Weren't you the giant
and now-
anti-Semite? Weren't you the giant anti-Semite I talked to yesterday or the day before?
And now you're saying, oh, well, if you apply inflation to it, you
Yes.
are wrong.
Oh,
You
so we
said-
don't use inflation? Oh my
You
God.
never said-
He's right. During the COVID pandemic,
you
ladies
never-
and gentlemen, he
you're
was
such
right.
a
It was
typical
$25, $23. Oh my God. But Biden managed to get it all the way back up to, oh, what is this? Holy shit, the highest prices of crude oil we've seen. But you understand how high prices are actually bad for the American consumer.
Of course it is. Of course it
So why are
causes
you bitching
inflation.
about low prices?
I'm not complaining about it. You're
No,
putting
you
words in
are.
my
You're
mouth.
saying it's
You
a criticism
told me
of
the price
Biden.
Of oil was,
Okay, you're
telling
saying, but
me-
what's the, okay? Let's actually address what I'm talking about instead of just swaying out.
You said the price of oil was never below $60.
Okay, I
I'm
will give you
showing
that
and
win.
now you-
I'll give you that win. Now, are you going to contend with the fact that Trump has destroyed the oil markets and is causing huge concern in the oil markets? You just want to
Well,
talk about how I said
it's
one
below
thing that was wrong.
$100 a
I'm
barrel now.
admitting that I'm wrong, and now you're still soying out
Okay,
about
well,
it.
I commend you for that.
Yeah.
Because
So are you
typically
going?
Democrats don't do that.
All right. So thank you. I appreciate that. So now,
All right,
are we going to
hold
agree
on. I gotta
that
mark
the
another
oil
win on my
prices?
chart here.
Okay.
I
If
gotta
you
mark another
consider
win.
me clarifying
1, 2, 3,
myself
4, 5,
as a
6,
win,
7,
then go
8.
ahead.
All right, thank you.
People love you here, by the way, man. I'm glad you called in. Anyways, so what's your point in bringing up that fact up? What's your point of that? Because I didn't see what your point was.
I honestly got lost. I got
Yeah, it's
so...
almost like you didn't have a point and you just wanted to be right, even though it doesn't
Well,
support
no,
what you're saying at all.
You're the one that gave me a fact that
Okay.
wasn't true. You were trying
So
to...
do you deny, hold on, do you deny that if oil is below 60, companies won't be interested in investing in oil infrastructure because it's already not profitable?
Oh, absolutely, because it's not...
Okay,
look,
so great.
Here's the deal with oil.
Yeah.
It's not the price of oil that screws consumers and causes inflation.
Yes, it's the price of
the
gas.
refineries. The refineries bottleneck the production of fuel. There hasn't been a
That's
refinery
because it's not
opening yet.
profitable after $60
Why do you always
per
interrupt
barrel.
me?
Oh, someone's getting emotional.
Yeah, because your soy is contagious.
No, bro,
But it's
your
not
soy is
the
contagious.
price of-
Anyway,
see,
hey,
you just
soybean
why-
prices, look right here, man.
He's gonna hang up on me. He's gonna hang up on me again.
No, I'm not.
The price
You
of
have
oil,
such a
yeah, as soon as I-
persecution
as soon as I
complex. It's
start-
embarrassing.
As soon as I start speaking about Islam or the Quran, boom, he hangs up.
No.
Yes, you've done it before. You hang up.
Okay,
as soon
well,
as
why
I-
don't you
like
actually see,
speaking about
instead of just
Islam.
crying about how you're being persecuted, let's have an actual discussion.
What did I say? I was being implied I was being persecuted. You
Oh,
just
he's
talked
gonna
over
block
and
me,
you're
guys. He's gonna hang up on me. You have such a persecution complex, bro. It's embarrassing.
Well, you've done it before. You've hung up on me
Okay,
before.
can we actually have a conversation? I'm seeing why I hung up on
If
you
you
the
don't
first
hang up
time.
on me, we can. If you don't hang up
All
on me,
right,
we
so
can have a
why
conversation.
is Trump winning? Let's just do that as a base. Why is Trump winning?
Wait,
why is he doing
when
great?
did I say Trump is winning? When did I say I'm a fan of Trump?
Bro, you are so embarrassing. Just take a position,
you're
man.
trying to put words in
You're
my mouth.
so afraid to take an actual position because you know you'd get cooked. So now you just have to cry
No, you
about
just
how I said
assume
something
that
wrong.
I'm a Trump supporter.
All right,
You're
are
putting
you
words
do
in my
you
mouth.
are you
assume I'm a
MAGA?
Trump
Or
supporter.
what's going on with you, man? What's your
See,
political
that's how-
positions?
that's how-
What
that's
is
how-
your?
see,
I'm
people like
asking you.
would never-
State
Oh,
your
oh, he's
position,
upset,
bro.
guys.
Yes,
Oh,
because I have to
he's
talk
upset,
over
guys.
you
Calm
because
down.
you're
Calm down.
absolutely
Oh.
saying bullshit. You can't take a
See, that's what they
position.
do. They hang up on you or they talk over
Take
you.
a position,
That's
bro.
like
What's your
well, in
position
your
on the
case,
world? Oh
that's
my
like a husband
god.
hitting his husband and saying, "Why did you
Nope,
make
here's
me
the
hit
gay
you?"
jokes, ladies and gentlemen.
I
And
had to-
see,
I
that's
had
how
to
you
talk
know
over
you don't have anything to talk about. You just want to be an argumentative little fuck. Did mom and dad not give you enough attention?
Well, no, you're the homosexual. I doubt you grew up with a father.
Okay, so
'cause you're
did mom and
compensating
dad
for
not
having a
see?
male
Now
in
we're
your life.
deflecting. I think we're hitting on something important. Why didn't your parents pay attention to you, man?
Well, see, now you're personally attacking me rather than just having a political debate. What does my
Bro, don't
personal life
act like
have
you
to do
wanted
with-
to have a political debate when you were making fun of my bisexuality. Shut the fuck up and
what's
actually
the-
deal with
what's
what you're
the-
serving out.
What was the lowest price of oil 6 years ago? Yeah, you were wrong. I've
Wow.
proven you
Okay.
wrong
So
so
what
many
does
times.
that provide? What does me being wrong?
That
make?
you're a fool and you act like you're a smart guy and you have this stupid
I'm a
YouTube
fool
video.
just because I made a mistake and corrected myself. That's a sign of a fool.
Well, yeah, and
I'd say
I'm
a sign
man
of a
to
fool
say
who
I commend
continues
you
to
for
double
doing that.
down.
I'm
like
enough
you.
of a man to commend you for admitting you made a mistake.
Okay, that's
It's
great.
okay.
So let's actually have a conversation though, because this meta conversation is embarrassing. So give me a position, an actual position, instead of just constantly trying
On
to
what?
pivot
What are the
into
guardrails?
something.
What are the guardrails?
Bro, what are you talking about? Guardrails against
Well,
what?
when I bring up certain topics with you, you hang up on me because
No, I
that's what
don't,
leftists
bro.
do. They
Because
believe
it
in
seems
finance.
it's making sense why I hang up on you all the time.
Okay.
Because you don't want to actually talk about anything.
Okay, if you go to a Muslim country, what will happen to you as a gay man?
Of course, it's Islamophobia. Just more Islamophobia.
See-
See, like I
Islamo-
don't deny
Islam-
that I would be persecuted, bro. Why do you think I support fundamental
Okay, there you go,
Islam?
thank you.
Why do you think I support fundamental Islam?
You support Islam as a gay man?
Why, bro?
That's like chickens supporting KFC.
bro. What, do you? Yeah, it's like supporting Christians as a gay man.
Christians, you're allowed to be gay in Christian
No, you're
countries.
not.
They don't
No,
kill
you're
you.
not. People are persecuted in Christian majority countries that use
Do they
the
do they not
Bible.
allow gay marriage in Christian countries? Name
What
one
Christian
Islamic country where they allow
Why
gay
don't you
marriage.
name one Christian country that allows it? This is
So
interesting.
you're answering a question with a question. Every Christian majority country allows gay marriage.
All right.
Name one
let's
Islamic
fact
country
check
that won't
real
kill
quick.
you.
Let's fact check that real quick. I am
He's
going to use
asking
ChatGPT
ChatGPT
real
again.
quick. Yes, because I am
Oh
not
my God.
aware of any Christian country that supports gay marriage, but I could be wrong. So let's.
Are
I
you
know
not
Beirut-
allowed to get married as a gay man in America?
Bro,
The Supreme
see, this
Court
is what I'm
ratified
talking
that.
about. You just want to bitch about Islam, and you don't actually want to have a conversation.
You said bring up any point I wanted to, and I did.
Yeah,
It's just
but this
an
is just
uncomfortable
more
truth.
bullshit. Like, what conversation can we realistically have about this topic?
Well, you said bring up any conversation I wanted to. I
But this
did,
isn't a
and you're just upset
conversation.
with
This
it
is
because
just you
lefties-
soying out.
because
This is just
lefties
you. Oh,
will
don't get
not
it. Oh, sounds
criticize
like
Islam.
somebody's
They
getting
only
offended.
criticize
Sounds like
Christianity.
somebody's getting
I'm talking
offended.
over you like you talk over me all the time.
Sounds like somebody's
Lefties
getting
will never
offended
criticize
right now.
Judaism or Islam. They only criticize Christianity because they know it's the nicest
Bro, what are
religion.
you? You're just doing a straw man. I will never criticize Judaism. What are you talking about?
You're an anti-Semite transphobe. I'm
Okay,
transracial.
Now we're just.
You
If
need-
we
you
are
need
we
to
just gonna have an
respect-
insult contest? Because if we want to have an insult contest,
I am a trans black woman and identify as Native American and a
Alright,
dentist.
yep, yet again, just not actually providing an argument. I see why I hung up on you originally. I see.
Well, yeah, because I brought up Islam and lefties refuse to criticize the reality of the
Bro,
brutality
when am I
of
think the way
Islam.
fundamental Islam treats homosexuality is horrible. I think it deserves to be called out. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, that's the first time I heard you
But
say
it's
that,
not my
and I'm
it's
not
not
a
my
lefty.
it's not a position that I
he's
really
getting upset,
advocate
guys.
for
He's
because
getting
as a
upset.
matter okay, bro, you got to stop with this. Just because I get passionate doesn't mean I'm upset.
Oh, it's just
I am
too
getting a
passionate.
little
Okay.
annoyed how you don't seem to want to have a solid position on anything.
Talk about anything. You brought up Islam? You anti-Islamist?
Well, bro, I'm
you
not
bring
even
up the
calling you
price
that.
of
See,
oil?
like,
You
look
can't
at this.
talk about the price
I'm
of
not
oil.
even talking about that. And you just want I'm not even saying that. You're just projecting an opinion you think I have.
Anyway,
Anyways, I'm getting
my
cooked,
wife's
so I'm gonna
boyfriend
head
just
out.
got here, so I gotta get
Yeah.
going soon.
I'm sure.
Yeah, you have been getting cooked. Check the price of oil. I can email you a chart of the price.
Wait a minute. Are you actually serious about having you're in a cuckold relationship? Are you in a
Well,
cuckold
I'm not a
relationship,
homosexual, but
sir?
my wife proudly dates a black man, and I like him very much. They
That's
make me
great.
sleep out. He's very nice. When he comes over, he allows me to sleep on my property in a tent. So I hear violent clapping noises. I don't know what's going on. If they're making music or what. But I
See,
hear
I
this
think you really
clap,
are
clap,
just
clap,
like a
clap,
troll
clap.
that doesn't have a real position. So,
I
I
don't
hope you
understand how
enjoy.
anyone watches your.
Oh God, that was embarrassing. That was embarrassing. Yeah, I'm gonna stop taking calls from that guy. He does not want to actually, talk in good faith. Poor guy, though. I hope his wife's boyfriend treats him well. I do. He seems like he might be feeling a little left out of the relationship. Poor guy. Yeah, dude. I'm sorry, but he wasn't actually choosing he was just coming to disagree and everything I said get an own, as if it's an own to say the pandemic destroyed a lot of commerce and stuff. So embarrassing. Sad man. Sad man. You know, if I was Donald Trump, what I would say about that man, hashtag sad. Anyways, will we be able to finish this Nick Shirley episode now? Excuse me, who knows?
4 years.
Well, we're lucky that America doesn't have any walls or doors.
And we're not in Murphy's Law yet, right? Or something like that. Or like martial law where they like start just letting the army come in or whatever. You know, I mean, I would have to get to know them. Like a good like, hi, how are you? What's your name?
Dude, she's mogging the fuck out of Nick Shirley right now. Call that was on the phone with you. He is not. Oh yeah, he's not that way. He was just trying to be a memer. Poor guy though. I hope his boyfriend treats him well, or his wife's boyfriend treats him well.
It's negotiable.
Do you know who Tom Homan is?
No, but I know Tom Holland.
Yeah, he's Tom Holland. He's quite the guy. And Tom Homan is the new border czar. So he's replacing Kamala Harris in her duties of the border.
Kamala was never the border czar.
And he says he's going to stop the flow of illegal immigrants. And if states do not comply, he's going to come in and do whatever it takes to get the job done as far as deporting these migrants. Would you be willing to house migrants inside your home so they don't get deported?
I mean, yeah, if they vibe, like, why not? Like, as long as I got a home.
Like, as long as they vibe, right?
Yeah.
What would pass the vibe check?
I mean,
Damn, Nick Shirley really is fucking... He's fishing right now. Yeah, that was obviously a troll. But I hope his wife's boyfriend does treat him
I
well.
think it's like not being like a weirdo.
Unfortunately for him, I now recognize his voice, so...
Like not stealing my stuff, like, you know, like getting a job or something. I don't know, like living and doing what you came here to do and like figuring it out and being respectful in my home. I mean, why would I turn down doors to anyone? I wouldn't turn doors down to like a baby.
Bro, get fucked, Nick Shirley. God, mogged. He's even getting frame mogged. Look at this man. He's a Chad. Look at his fucking jawline. Getting absolute, and a beautiful woman next to him. Absolutely frame mogging this man. She's frame mogging him as well.
Criminals stay inside your home for completely free?
Well, it depends on the criminal charge. Like, what is it, like grand larceny, or is it like petty theft, or is it like drug dealing, is it like weed smoking?
Just drug dealing.
I mean, it depends on the drug dealing as well, because I mean, it's
like
LA.
Just fentanyl.
Fentanyl, I mean, I'm not trying to be with someone that's a murderer. Yeah, of course, I wouldn't, yeah.
Okay, what if they were just,
But, dude, dude, Nick Shirley is so lost. This is not his field. He should be making Fortnite dub compilations, not this.
like, selling blood?
Are they like a vampire or something? Because I'm the Slayer. Like, I don't know. But, I mean, it depends. Like,
Selling blood? Bro, what? That was a horrible example. I don't know. Are they a vampire? That's a good question. Are they a vampire? I mean, if they're a vampire, sure, I'd be fine with it. If they're just doing it for human consumption, I'd be a little sketched out. Where are they getting this blood from is something I would ask. What if they're a terrorist vampire? There we go. That's the question. That is the question, isn't it? Dude, this is poor work, even by Nick. Even by poor Nicky Boy's standard here, it's pretty bad. I don't know how you get so frame mogged by this Chad of a man and this Stacy of a woman to exist. These Vampo terrorists need to be stopped. Amen, Sumdum. They need to be stopped. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
everything is circumstantial. Things can't just be so black and white. And I feel like that's the biggest problem with America, is that there's not a lot of gray.
Los Angeles.
Speak, Queen. You guys aren't seeing it, but I'm doing the Speak, Queen. Go off. Honestly, if she wanted to become an influencer, she could literally just start by, I was interviewed by Nick Shirley, and this is how uncomfortable I felt. Oh, Nick. You are a weird one, man. He's a wild one, ladies and gentlemen. It's a good song. You guys should look it up.
This is now a sanctuary city. Do you support mass deportations?
Actually, I do support that in so many ways. Hell yeah.
And why so?
Because I think a lot of people come over here and they take advantage of a lot of opportunities of people that are naturally here. And when they come over here, it kind of wears out everything, and it's not enough for people that are born here or actually here illegally.
Bro is literally wearing an Unk right now. Unk is literally wearing an Unk right now. Unk is literally wearing an Unk right now, and we're gonna trust his opinions? I mean,
itself a sanctuary city. They
what's
voted
going on?
unanimously for it.
Well, I mean, it depends on who's in.
Bro, what conspiracies does this guy believe? No offense to him. I think conspiracies are fun, but he's wearing an Ankh. Like, this man probably believes in some very interesting things. And he has full right to do that. Anyways. Hey, I believe in some very weird things, but, you know what? This man, he's just doing his, he's just chilling. Whoa. That's a dinosaur.
You know, office that do support that, but I say that there's a lot of people that come over here illegally, and when they come over here, they do take advantage of a lot of opportunities, and that leave us with nothing. So I'll say that it leaves us with many options, no options at all. So I think that it's okay for send them back where they come from, and they need to come over here legally.
Do you support mass deportations?
Not at all. Absolutely not.
Bro, why are you showing this child's face? Holy fuck, Nick Shirley. You're fucking crazy, bro. Why are you showing this child's face in your political video? Isn't there a law against that? I could be wrong, but holy shit, dude. Learn when not to, you know, did you just not have enough footage? What's going on here? By the way, I love that guy, he mentioned Nick Shirley, and he didn't want to talk about Nick Shirley, even though I'm literally talking about him right now. He didn't want to talk about Nick Shirley. He just wanted to be Islamophobic. Jesus. People like that, man, are why we do these videos, ladies and gentlemen. To fight the disinformation. No Democrat supports fundamental Islam. Like, oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm crafting some mines. One moment. I'm Minecrafting the situation. I apologize, guys. But seriously, like, Nick Shirley, you can't just put fucking people's children in the video. I would not be Why am I puking out seeds? That's weird. That was a little strange. But seriously, like, you should not be putting children in your political videos. That's really concerning that he did that. Didn't even try to blur her out. Like, I would have blurred her out. But Nick Shirley could give less of a fuck. The cost of Brent is going through the roof right now? Yeah, I was looking at it while that man soyed out. It does look like it's going back up, which is just great. We love the oil companies making a bunch of money and not transferring it to the American people. We do. Anyways.
Why do you not support mass deportations? If someone comes in the country illegally, what should happen to them?
If they come into the country legally, I think they should be protected, of course.
Illegally, if they come in illegally.
Yes, yes.
Protect them.
Damn,
If they
this
break the
looks
law.
it looks like the American people don't agree with even hurting illegal or deporting illegal immigrants. That's just what the American public thinks, guys. I disagree, but it seems like this woman doesn't mind, and I think that's beautiful that she is willing to say fuck that. Oh jeez, what's going on? Bro, why are there mini creepers? Not a fan of that. Get fucking wrecked, you losers! Oh, looks like we got a magician here. Excuse me, sir. I would like your treasure, if you don't mind. Oh, looks like they got something going on here. Ah, it was some lag. Okay, great. Well, we don't want that to happen again, so you all need to die. Listen, call it. Your eviction notice went out months ago, man. Should be, aware.
Protect them if they break law. Yes, if they're humans that are leaving a country that they're in danger of. If they're in danger and they need to leave their country because they need to be protected, of course they should be protected.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with you. That all goes to the mental health care problem. I was talking about this earlier, but that all relates back. We have a mental health care crisis in America. And until politicians actually take it seriously, there's nothing that's going to get done. You know, and the way we would get mental health care for everybody is illegals drain more from the system they put in. You know that's not true. Constitution restricted. You know that's not true. Many studies have come out showing that illegals or undocumented put far more into the system than they take out. You're directly denying those studies. You're saying, no, those studies are wrong. Well, show me some evidence that supports your worldview. I haven't seen any of that evidence. Like, what are you pointing to that would suggest that? Can shoot basic arrows without consuming the arrows. That's great.
Protected here. What do you mean? Of course.
Do you think the world should have no borders?
Yes.
What do you think about Los Angeles becoming a sanctuary city?
Oh my god! Oh my god! No, they do pay taxes. See, you're not pointing to anything, bro. These are just vibes. Show me where it's at, where a study has been done where they drain the economy. You can't just say, "Oh, it's 100% true." LOL. Like, come on, bro. And they don't receive public benefits. If they're in a state like California, they use their own state taxes and state money to fund that. And that's up to the people of California, not the federal government. If they want their taxes to go to that, you having an issue with it doesn't have anything to do with that. That's what they voted on. Oh, I'm not pointing to anything? All right, bet. All right. So, how do you feel about the Cato Institute? How do you feel about the Cato Institute, Constitution restricted? Do you think the Cato Institute is a woke source? Recent increases in immigration have rekindled concerns about the effects of governmental budgets. This paper updates a model of these effects first developed by the National Academies of Science, Engineering, and Medicine to shed light on how immigrants, both legal and illegal, and their children affect government budget. This analysis is the first to estimate the cumulative fiscal effect of immigrants on a federal, state, and local budget in over 30 years. Yeah, go check this out. I think the Cato Institute is trustworthy, but maybe you don't. I don't know.
I live here.
And why do you
Cato
love Los Angeles
Institute,
becoming a
known
sanctuary
to be
city?
the most woke
It's
lib
just somewhere safe that you can be.
think
There's
tank
so
ever.
many states right now who are going through so much. Women are going to suffer so much. This is just the beginning of everything that happened once Trump won. So
Well, it's not, you know,
How did you
it's
feel
it's
when
a
Donald-
it's a combining factor, you know? It really is. It's not just one thing you can point to and say, "Oh, this is why." And what are we even arguing against? You know, like what are you even arguing against? That they don't put enough in as much as they take out. No, it seems like you don't know the difference because if you look here, take a look right here, my friend. This study talks about both legal and illegal. So it seems like you don't know the difference between legal and illegal immigrants. You're the one making that distinction, and so are they.
Trump won the election.
I honestly have a house in Mexico, and if it keeps getting worse, I'm going to go stay over there for 4 years.
And why do you not support mass deportations?
We need as many people, as many immigrants as we can here. We come here to work. I was an immigrant also. I was able to get, you know, I'm a citizen now, but I did it the right way. But I feel like we don't come here to take nobody's jobs. If Trump wants to deport people,
And that's one of the
then
very
he
first comprehensive studies to be done that way. There is no study you can point to, constitutional restricted. You are doing it off of vibes. Show me a study that shows that illegal immigrants take out. All right. He's just not gonna engage with the conversation. And now I'm kind of seeing why I banned you originally. I was being so kind. I unbanned him. I said, you can come back. But now he just wants to soy out and not look at the data. I'm giving you a piece of evidence, and you're saying, oh, well, you didn't read the evidence. Well, why don't you read it and tell me how wrong I am? They literally don't pay taxes. Yes, they do. That's what you don't see. They do pay taxes, my friend. Taxes are typically automatically taken out by the job that they're working. So they do pay taxes. So I've given you a study. Now you give me a study to refute that evidence. I'm waiting. I am waiting. Anyways, we got to get done with this Shirley video so I can go get ready for tonight's later stream.
needs to figure out how he's going to have his hotels cleaned. Who's
Oh
going to
my
wash the
God.
dishes in the restaurants?
Why low-skilled immigrants are fiscally positive. University graduates had a more positive fiscal effect than those with less education, because university graduates have higher than average incomes and thus pay more in taxes. This might lead someone to think that low-skilled, less educated immigrants have a negative fiscal effect, but in fact, low-skilled immigrants, defined here as immigrants with less than a bachelor's degree, were fiscally positive from 1994 to 2023. This was also true of low-skilled non-citizens, most of whom were in the United States illegally. How is this possible? At the outset, we note that children raise a methodological difficulty for estimating the effects of low-skilled immigrants because all children technically are low-skilled. In the appendix, we discuss alternatives, but our approach below uses regression that predicts the final education level of individuals below the age of 25 on their parents' educational attainment along with their race and ethnicity. This approach assigns a percentage of children of low-skilled immigrants to high-skilled buckets, and some children of high-skilled immigrants to low-skilled classification, based on their percentage likelihood of completing a given level of education in the future. Why are non-citizens fiscally positive? Non-citizen immigrants, about half of whom were in the United States illegally, were also fiscally positive to all levels of government. Indeed, immigrants without U.S. citizenship accounted for nearly half of the positive net fiscal contribution from all immigrants in 1994 to 2023, $6.3 trillion in real term, including interest savings. Unlike the immigrant population generally, non-citizens have a lower than average income. Those whose sole reason for non-citizens' positive net fiscal contribution is lower than the average benefits recipient. So what that's saying is they take less than they give in. And here's a table. Taxes, naturalized citizens, non-citizens. Looks like they're putting in quite a bit, my friend. They pay about, from 1998 to 2023, they paid about $10 trillion in taxes. Oh, I'm giving you an example of how they're contributing. You just don't want to believe it, my friend. And here, it even addresses the benefits given by California and other states that accept their, that give benefits to naturalized and non-citizens. Look at that. They were a net positive. Look at that. Altogether, they say they contributed $6.3 trillion to the economy. So these are the straight facts right here, my friend. So now I need you to dispute this. Show me what is wrong in their methodology here. Show me what's wrong. I'm waiting. It addresses those benefits. Look at it. It addresses them as 6.2 trillion. They still gave a positive effect to the economy. Oh my God, now non-citizens aren't illegals. You are such a... Yeah, this is why you're a joke, bro. Get the fuck out of my channel. I don't like you. This is why you're disingenuous as fuck. Saying, oh no, I'm talking about illegal. That's what they count as a non-citizen, you fuckhead. God, bro. Yeah, I don't need, like, liars like that in my chat. You know what I'm saying? Just gonna be honest. I don't need liars like that here. I am perfectly fine not having losers like that in the chat. Like, seriously, if you wanted to yell at me and disagree with me, come to my shorts streams. Otherwise, this is typically a lib zone. But this is an interesting study. I'm gonna look more into this. This is very interesting. Oh, geez, this one's not good either for him. Non-citizens cost less per capita than the average for the U.S. population. Per capita government expenditures, U.S. average, and non-citizen averages. So needs-based, obviously, completely good there. Public goods, average and U.S.-born citizens contribute a lot more into there. Yeah, and they're not taking out any... This is just embarrassing for him, and I can see why he soyed out. Because it completely disproves what he's trying to say. Anyways. Oh, wrong video. Sorry about that, guys.
Who's going to pick our crops? Who's going to do it? Nobody else wants to do it.
Do you think there would be other people that would do it if the jobs were available?
No.
If the job was available for people from here?
Yeah.
They're not going to do it.
Yeah, they're not. And it's pretty pathetic that people keep saying, no, they will. Why don't we see that? Why haven't we seen that after these mass deportations? Last time I checked, no one was showing up to Trump farms. Just not willing to accept reality. That's what's frustrating. Anyways.
They're not going to do it. I have this job and I clean people's houses. Who's the one that cleans the most people's houses? Are Hispanics, are immigrants.
Specifically talking about the people that came across the border illegally, or if they came to the United States illegally in any form or any matter, should they be deported or not?
No. I think there should be a pathway to citizenship. We should find an easy way to do that if they've already been here. And if you're talking about illegal immigrants or migrants that are helping our economy, let's find a pathway to citizenship that works.
Let's go. Dude, he is getting smashed, absolutely frame-mogged in these interviews. Absolutely frame-mogged, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, I see why I banned him originally. He just did not want to engage with facts. He just wanted to do his feels. Like, I'm sorry, man. But the facts don't care about your feelings. And when you're saying a comprehensive study by the Cato Institute isn't good enough, a historically libertarian institute, then I don't know what the fuck you're just doing things off vibes. Just based on vibes and how you feel. Bro, what the fuck? Oh. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Non-citizens. They define non-citizens as illegal immigrants in this paper. Literally. They define non-citizens as illegal immigrants in this paper, bro. Look. Showing both illegal and illegal. They define non-citizens as anybody that is not a citizen and is not in the immigration process. God, guys, this is just so embarrassing. The cope is real.
Sorry, buddy.
Los Angeles just declared themselves a sanctuary city. Do you support mass deportations?
The cope is really, like, unreal.
What should happen with all these migrants that recently came in the...
Oh, they're not looking at the data the same as the government. Okay, interesting.
Have the answer.
Yes, the government defines non-citizens in a different way, but to make sure that the study is representative of the non-citizen population, they also include illegal immigrants and is representative of the population people are complaining about. Anyways, I just want to finish this video so I can go out and eat real quick, man. What is going on here? All right.
The answer is, but mass deportations is a ridiculous response.
Do you think that's racist by Donald Trump to do that?
Should I say, of course? Of course, yes.
Do you think it is a race thing, or do you think it's more of like Donald Trump's point of view might be, well, they came into the country illegally, they broke the law, we should treat them as if they were criminals.
So can I speak freely on this?
Yeah, of course.
I absolutely think that
All right,
Donald Trump doesn't
my
care
friend,
one way
tell
or the
me
other.
why that...
He doesn't care if
Oh my goodness,
they're
the
white.
cope is real. They're just gonna try to find flaws in the data or something like that instead of actually providing a reason why illegal immigrants are not contributing to society. Oh jeez. There's no law in America that makes people being here illegally illegal. Yeah, it's much more like a traffic ticket. Anyways, I just keep playing Minecraft. So I gotta fucking finish this video.
Or black or Hispanic. I don't think he cares. I think all he cares about is making a statement. And if they can't help him, then that's why they're gone.
Well, there we go. And he said it as much. So you think because they count overstayed visas and stuff like that, you think because they count those people in the illegal immigrant population, the data is wrong? No, I seriously do want to know. Like, you think that the data is swayed one way? See, here's the thing, man. If you don't believe data and you're doing things off vibes again, this is a problem with Republicans. They do things off of vibes. And why it's so sad, because these immigrant populations really do contribute a lot, but they won't ever see that. Anyways, guys, I do have to get out of here. I am going a little over. I usually only do 2 hours on the stream, but we did an hour and a half, or 2 hours and a half. I will be live at 6 p.m. But I'll actually probably be doing a gaming stream instead of a debate stream like I typically do, because we are, my homie Ice Beans is having a... Anyways, I'll read over the Cato Institute study and I'll be back with the criticisms of it and all of that. Anyways, I have to get out of here. I hope you guys have an amazing day. Thank you guys so much for stopping by and saying what's up. Like I said, I will be live at around 6 p.m. I'm unsure if it'll be a debate stream or if it'll be more of a gaming stream. So we'll find out. It will be in the shorts format though. So with that being said, I hope you guys have an amazing day and I will see you at 6 p.m. CST. Peace.
We're told we're not taking sides. I'm here to take sides. Mladic is a war criminal, the leader of the Bosnian Serbs. He is no better than Himmler. He is no better than Goebbels. He is a war criminal.
I was suggesting we bomb Belgrade.
What's so important about the Western Alliance? NATO for NATO's sake so we can beat our breasts? What I'm about to say is going to cause me great difficulty if I'm re-elected and come back here as the ranking member or chairman of the Foreign Relations Committee. There is no moral center in Europe.
I was suggesting that we send American pilots in and blow up all the bridges on the Drina.
When in the last 2 centuries have the French, or the British, or the Germans, or the Belgians, the Italians?
I was suggesting we take out his oil supply.
Moved in a way to unify that continent, to stand up to this kind of genocide? When have they done this?
I was suggesting very specific action.
The only reason anything is happening now is because the United States of America finally is understanding her role.
The 21st century is going to be the American century. Because we never bow, we never bend, we never break. We are America, second to